continue with our class Kosher Kitchen. And we start with Sefer Chofetz Chaim. And our big topic is the same, listen to the Halachos. Right. And today's topic is ignore and rebuke. As in the case of lotion haram, it is forbidden to listen to the Halachos spoken by one's parents, siblings, or spouse. Okay. Familial closeness is not reason to share information that promotes strife and ill will among Jews. When subjected to gossip, one is required not only to distance himself from the conversation, but must also reprove the speaker for violating the Torah commandment. Only when rebuke will cause the gossiper to speak with a great malice, should one not rebuke? I'm sorry, I apologize. Speak great malice, should one not offer a rebuke? Okay. If one's employer or a colleague are prone to gossip, one should ignore their conversation. One is not required to offer a reproof if this might cause him to lose his job. Fulfillment of the positive commandments, such as Mitzvah, to offer reproof, does not require a monetary risk of such magnitude. However, one should attempt to voice disapproval at some point so as not to be guilty of chanufa. So chanufa is flattery, right? That's bad. In all situations, the listener must do his best to stop gossip, perhaps by tactfully changing the subject. All right. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Some things it's not recommended to do before the class, and I did just one of them. Just listen. I read the message from somebody. Very interesting. Okay, ignoring the rebuke again. As a case in case of lotion haram, it is forbidden to listen rechilus spoken by one's parents, sibling, or spouse. So rechilus again, if what someone said about us or some other people close to us, and it does not make any difference who is talking, right? Even our spouse, so let's say, or a sibling. My brother told me. Somebody's brother told him what his sister told about him, right? So that's absolutely forbidden, right? Or somebody from outside the family spoke about the family, so it's absolutely forbidden. Okay, to listen to. Okay, so and familial closeness is not a reason such information that promotes strife and ill will among the Jews, right? So just because that spouse wants to tell you, does not mean anything. Like, we're not allowed to listen to the Halachos from them or from somebody else. When subject of gossip, when subjected to gossip, one is required not only to distance himself from the conversation, but must also reprove the speaker for violating the Torah commandment, right? So again, so it's proper not only to not to listen. It's one commandment, and reproof somebody the wrong door is a different command. Two separate commandments, right? Only when rebuke will cause the gossiper to speak with a great malice, one should not offer rebuke. So if you know this guy, he said, "Oh, you don't believe me," or you know what he said or she said about you, now I'm going to tell you. So if you know that this is the case, so yeah, it's better to keep quiet. Okay. If one's employer or colleagues are prone to gossip, one must ignore their conversation, right? And I had this situation in my office, and first I was very irritated with this thing. Right, somebody would come to my neighbor and speak. Since we didn't have any you sit in a cubicle, there are no walls. Like they standing in somebody else's cubicle, but it's like, I don't know, 6 feet from you. Like you hear everything. Like even though they try to whisper, it's too close. So I was irritated for some time, and then I decided I'm going to put my headphones on. So, and these people actually inspired me to have my headphones, so not to listen to anybody. So I will listen to lectures. So anyway, I would not be able to concentrate on my job. So I would do some job that did not require a lot of thinking, like some mechanical job. Right. So it's very interesting. Right. So even in this, you can derive some benefit in this gossip mongering. Okay. So again, if there is employer, okay, you're not going to go rebuke your employer or a colleagues, right? I mean, otherwise they're nice people. But the way of the world, the way of society, people like to share gossip, right? The whole industry, like the news and stuff like that, they built it around gossip. So now, like you want to stop this industry in the name of like. So it's not exactly possible, right? So you just keep quiet, ignore it, right? You're not obligated to lose your job. One is not required to offer a reproof. It might cause him lose his job, right? And especially a colleague, and they're not most likely they're not going to listen, right? And they're going to be angry with you. And if the opportunity comes, maybe they going to say something to a boss. Okay, so we stay away. Fulfillment of the positive commandment, such a mitzvah, to offer reproof, does not require the monetary risk for such a magnitude. Okay. So even though it says that in order to fulfill positive mitzvah, we should be ready to sacrifice 1/5, I think, of person net worth, right? But not in this case. Okay. Because like positive mitzvah that you're required to do maybe for yourself, but this one is too much, right? Because most likely it's not going to work anyway. However, one should attempt to voice disapproval at some point, so not to be judged as chanufa, right? As a false flattery. Okay, so that's a different story, right? From time to time, you can tell them maybe it's not a good idea. In all situations, the listener must do his best to stop gossip, perhaps tactfully changing the subject, or just not to be part of this conversation. So if I'm not the part of the conversation, and they see that I ignore it and try to keep away, so that's a different story. Okay, I think there is one question there, and it's the subject is lotion hara. Okay, so let's see. Since it said that the laws of lotion hara were not allowed to refer negatively to ourselves, okay, I'm wondering if this applies to our wrongdoing and our physical mishaps. For example, if someone is having a really hard time with a medical issue like a dry scalp, and one mentions we also had a severely dry scalp in the middle school to make them feel not alone. Okay, it is the type of the speaking negatively about ourselves that Chofetz Chaim is referring to. I mean, it's very interesting. I don't think it is like a lotion hara, but let's see. So again, let's see from the beginning, and we try to answer. Okay. So again, since it is said that lotion hara, we're not in the laws of lotion hara, we're not allowed to refer negative to ourselves. I don't think it's negativity like this, especially this thing. But on one hand, on another hand, in this person's mind, it could be something like they would imagine it. So maybe it's not a good idea. Okay. Now I'm wondering if this applies to our wrongdoings in our physical mishaps. Wrongdoings for sure, the sins you're not allowed to disclose whatever you did, especially if you did the shua. If you need to help from professional, like if you want to do teshuva and you don't know how to fix it, and the sin still exists, that's a different story. But otherwise, no, like nobody should know, because guess what? The people would hold against you at one point, for sure. right? For example, if someone having really hard time with a medical issue like dry scalp, and one mentioned also severity of the scalp in the middle scalp. I think it's not appropriate to mention that we have the same thing. Just to try to offer to sympathize with a person, maybe, right? I mean, offer him if person does not know how to use computer, for example, maybe do research, maybe, right? Maybe there is a cream or maybe some other medicine, some pills, I don't know, something, or to find a better doctor or something like. But it says that only fools, the Torah says, only fools take take a relief if they know that somebody have the same suffering. Like, how does it help you? Like that does it take the suffering away? No, right? But fools, they actually have, oh, somebody have a even worse situation than I am. Oh, that's good. Okay, I'm not alone. So how does it help you? It's not alone. You have you don't have a job. How does it help you that somebody is going to get evicted? Like, how? What is the connection? Right. So yeah. So we try to offer support, but that's where we stop. If we need to share this some negative information about our past, and you think that it's going to encourage other person, right, for constructive reason, so the person is down and say, how can I do teshuva? Hashem never going to forget me, and this and that, forgive me, right? And you said, no, you know what, I was, you know how bad I was. You don't have to give all of the details, but one example, right? Maybe not the worst example. And guess what? I work myself, and I stopped that, and I ripped all of the mother's clothing, and I burned into this and that. So yeah, you can say that like for a constructive purpose. But other people cannot repeat this thing about that person. They cannot say, oh, you know, she was a mother. You know how a mother she was. I still have a picture. Yeah, she asked me to delete, but you wanted to show you her picture, even to the girls. I'm not doing men, like to ladies. Absolutely not. Absolutely forbidden. Right. Okay. So we stop here. Okay, so we continue with our topic of kosher kitchen, and we're on the 15th chapter, 14th chapter, right? And our topic is kosher utensils, right? So section number 3, and we're getting closer and closer to the bottom of it. And our topic: which material may be kosher? That's the core of it, right? Some things you can kosher, and as we said, if they were used with cold, there is no need to kosher at all, right? But now we're talking about hot. Okay. Like what was used with cold, I don't know, like bread basket or something. I don't know, something like a fruit bowl. Hopefully nobody put soup there. Yeah, so it's only were used for cold fruits, and there is no problem whatsoever. Okay, you just wash it well, and that's it. So next one, okay, so not all materials absorb taste equally, and not all materials can be purged of their absorbed taste. The status of some of the materials are clearly set forth in the Torah. Some are discussed in the Talmud, while the others subject to the conflicting opinions in rabbinic literature. Okay, so let's do again because we need to understand these criteria. So first, not all materials absorb the taste equally. So the more porous material, the better it absorbs, and maybe never gives back, like wood, for example, right? And stone. And not all materials can be purged of their absorbed taste, right? And not as we just gave two examples. So you cannot get the taste back. Okay. The status of some material is clearly set forth in the Torah, right? And some discussed in the Talmud, right? So we'll see. While the other are subject of conflicting opinions in rabbinic literature. So it's actually, I think a few weeks ago when we talked about the war of Jews against Midian, so when they brought spoils back, And it's Torah says whatever you like all of this gold, silver, other like thin and iron, I think, all these things. So you can actually kasher it right through the water, right? You have to like through the water, other through the fire. Okay. So next section A, materials mentioned in the Torah. Okay, here we go. The basic concept of the rule of Kasher is based upon the section of Torah dealing with utensils seized in a battle from Midianites. It's from Bamidbar 31 verses 21 and 23. Okay. Among these were food utensils that had been used for non-kosher foods, for chat, not kosher. The Torah decrees that all Midianite utensils and in the future all non-kosher utensils must be kosher before they use with kosher foods. Okay. So again, it's based on a Torah, clear verses, and so before you use utensils that were used by non-Jews used for hot food, whatever, even kosher food. Doesn't matter. I mean, even kosher food. What would be the kosher food? That doesn't matter. Like, I mean, we cannot rely on them if they said I only was cooking potatoes in this pot. That's it. It's this potato pot. Okay, we cannot rely on that. Those utensils used in direct contact with fire must be koshered through direct contact with fire. The process is called libun. Sorry. Right, so like all of the frying pans. So frying pans like with minimum of oil, right? Will be discussed below. Utensils used for hot liquids must be kosher through immersion in hot water. So this is the easiest one. I mean, after so the easiest one is that were never used for hot food, right? The second category is something that you have to kosher through what is it? Immersion in the water. So, and this is called hagala. Okay. So number one is metal utensils. The Torah lists 6 types of metals that require kashering: gold, silver, copper, iron, tin, and lead. Okay, so I mean today, if you think about it, there is nothing made of this material. It's like combination maybe, but not from pure of these materials. Poskim assume that all of these maybe is cast iron, maybe, right? So there's cast iron, but it's still there is like a they would like overlay it with something, right? It's not like iron like in olden days, right? In olden days we have iron skillets, so for sure it can get rusty for sure, or something. Right? Maybe not rusty, but you see that there is no it's a pure one. There's no layers of some protection that it should not burn, nothing. Okay. Poskim assume that in all other materials, all other metals, such as aluminum, must and can be kosher. So aluminum, of course, it's like a composite material, right? So, but our sages put it in some exceptional category, meaning together with the ones that were listed in the Torah. Number 2, earthenware utensils. In other words, the Torah specifies the earthenware, cheres, and cannot be purged of a prohibited taste. Thus, any earthenware utensil that absorb non-kosher taste must be discarded. So we're going to see the commentary now. So basically, earthenware. How many of us have earthenware utensils? So we in my family have one maybe. But we never use for anything. It's like for decoration. Somebody gave us it like from another country, so like handmade stuff like that. So that's it. So we use it as like a decoration. Have you ever used it for something? I don't think so. right? So, but the question is going to be about China. So China is a earthenware, like and covered with a glaze. So we'll see. But this glaze is it a glass or not glass? So we'll need to see, and based on the definition, we'll see if it's possible to kasher it or not, or porcelain, right? Okay, so commentaries say, Tosafos Pesachim Tori explain that although some prohibited tastes are shortly purged from the earthenware utensils when it is placed in boiling water, otherwise there would be no problem with cooking in a Treif earthenware pot. We can never be certain that all of the taste, or all is underlined, had been removed, purged. So, and this halacha, just to clarify what it says here, right? So, our sages say that even though it is possible when you put it in a hot boiling water to remove some taste, but still there is no guarantee that all of the taste is going to be removed. And okay, so and that's what we just said. And just to remind us, we said after 24 hours, this taste is not good. It's spoiled. It's like garbage. So it's not, if it was like a non-kosher food, it's nothing. It's like dirt, right? So, but still, our sages say no, right? So it's still considered like a taste. Okay. So right. So we don't have any contradiction. So again, the whole sentence. In other words, the Torah specifies earthenware cannot be purged of the prohibited taste. Commentary. The Torah states that earthenware utensil in which sacrificial meat was cooked must be shattered after the end of the permitted time period for eating the meat. So, meaning in some sense they were disposable. Actually, no. It's not. Let's continue. Each time of sacrificial meat may be eaten only for a specified amount of time, either by day and the following night, or by 2 days and intervening night. Once the time has passed, the meat and any food utensil absorb the taste of the meat prohibited. That is prohibited. The Torah instructs that metal, copper pots may be koshered, while earthenware pots must be shattered. Chazal and Pesachim Torah assumed that if there were any methods by which to kosher earthenware pot, the Torah would not require it to be shattered. Okay, so let's try to understand what it says here. So we're talking about earthenware utensils, and in a basic mikdash, they would cook meat, right? To cook meat in these earthenware utensils, and kohenim were required to eat it. Okay, and sometimes and some other people also were required to eat it. For example, non kohenim, regular Jews, like the shalamim offerings, that like the peace offering, there is no problem that they get the most of the meat back, and they had to cook. And let's say that there is a offering that you can eat only for this day and the night. So meaning until the morning you have to finish whatever is left over. You have to destroy it, right? Destroy, because you're not allowed to keep it, or finish eating, right? So in this case, so if person did not finish eating for whatever reason, or they forgot, and they left this this meat in a pot, or even if they did decided that I'm going to live and eat later, so this meat becomes a pigul, right? So which is forbidden to be eaten. So in some cases, in some sense, it becomes non-kosher meat. So even though it was offered as a sacrifice, so it becomes non-kosher. So in this utensil absorb the taste of non-kosher, right? If it was called, I mean, let's simplify the case. Maybe they tried to cook after the allowed time. Well, let's put it this way. I mean, maybe it would be easier. So they tried to cook this meat after allowed time. So it was for sure with heat. This earthenware utensil absorbed this non-kosher, this forbidden taste, and now you have to break it, right? But about about the metal part, metal copper parts, they say you have to kosher, and then that's it, right? But earthenware you had to break. Okay, and it's actually in the loss of vessel for the base hamikdash. They say if you have a crack or something, they usually they would not allow you to repair it. Even if it's easy to repair, they would melt it and build a new. So because it's a disrespect to the temple to have a patches or something, right? So that, I mean, in other places there is no problem. In your house, like you can have patches, and there are some Jews that that's what they did. They were working in this would go from street to street and advertise that I can fix your pots, right? And people would bring, and they they would have, for example, some rusty piece. They would cut the rusty piece and make a patch. I mean, for personal use there is no problem, but for base hamikdash it's not good, right? So, but earthenware utensils, since you cannot kosher them, so they would break. So it was 18. Okay, so continue. Thus, any earthenware utensil that absorb non-kosher taste must be discarded. It may be sold to a non-Jew. Okay, so because just because it's something non-kosher does not mean that it's forbidden to us. There are some things that we are not allowed to benefit, as we said when we learn about wine, right? That were used for idol worshippers, for idol worshiping. But other or for example, we said the same about mixture of meat and milk together, basal v'chalav. You're not allowed to derive any benefit. Maybe some other things, but otherwise, like all other things, we gave an example. So if person caught a fish, not kosher fish, so he's not obligated to throw it back in the water, or so throw it out. No, he's allowed to sell to non-Jews. There is no problem. So same as here. Okay. Continue. Wood and stone utensils. Although the Torah makes no mention of wood and stone utensils, the poskim assume that they too cannot be kashed. Okay. See Yorach Deya 121:2. Okay. So again, if it was used with heat. Okay. Continue. Section B. Right, and our topic is glass utensils. Right. Although glass utensils are often mentioned in the Talmud, there is no Talmudic source with regard to kashering glass utensils. Very interesting, right? So about glass utensils, it says if you want to get poor, right, you buy linen clothes, right, because it's very expensive, right, and glass utensils. Why glass utensils? Because they cost a lot. They used to cost a lot of money, and easily breakable, right? So it's like a waste of money. So buy yourself this I don't know, this metal cup or something, like a aluminum cup or like a copper cup is going to serve you for years. Okay. So let's see. So although glass utensils are often mentioned in the Talmud, there is no Talmudic source with regard to the kosher utensils. Commentaries say, it is interesting to note that with regard to the issue of Tumah, a spiritual defilement, Chazal viewed glass as having some quality of earthenware and some quality of metal, right? Susceptibility to Tumah. So metal for sure susceptible to Tumah, right? If it is in utensils form, right? Only utensils, just to remind us, only utensils can be susceptible to Tumah. Okay. So, but here they look at it in some sense. It's like earthenware, meaning that you cannot kosher. But in some sense, it is metal that you can kosher. So, according to Torah law, glass is not susceptible to Tumah. See Rashi, Shabbos 15b. However, Chazal decreed that since glass is similar to earthenware, in that it is made from the sand. Okay, glass utensil can also become tameh. Okay, so right, so it's very good. So like I would say that glass have some like a characteristic as the earthenware, meaning it is made from the same material. Where it says Shabbos 15b. Okay, so that's why it can become tameh. Okay, continue. Nevertheless, although the basic susceptibility to tumah is derived from similarity to earthenware, Chazal, there on 17a, okay, so it's Talmud Shabbos, but 17a, maybe a few pages down, gave glass some tumah qualities of metal. Okay, since like glass, the metal can be molded and repaired, right? So like you can melt, right? You can melt the glass and then fix it. That's what they do with the recycling, right? You recycle your glass jars or something, right? So they would melt them and do whatever they need to do with that, right? And same is metal. You recycle metal, whatever utensils, right? They melt them and do whatever they do. How they do it, I have no idea. I've been thinking about it sometime. From time to time, like how many of these metals that we're trying to recycle is composite material. So how can they break down? Look, I have no idea, but I'm sure the scientists know what to do. Similarly, although the earthenware utensils do not require tevilah, when purchased from a non-Jew, see chapter 18. I mean, we're going to get to it. Chazal decreed that glass utensils, because of similarity to metal, require immersion to the mikvah. So here's a big difference. I mean, that's so glass is like sometimes it's treated like the earthenware, and sometimes it's like metal. So because it's like an earthenware, it made out of sand, and as a metal, it has this characteristic that you can melt and rebuild it, right? Recreate something new, right? Just 1 second, and so okay. And but another difference that even though the earthenware utensil you're not obligated to dip in the mikveh, toivel, right? But when you buy from a non-Jew, we're talking about new one, like brand new from the store you buy, right? But I would say if it's glass utensils, you must tovel, and you say the blessing on the glass. I think so. I'm not sure. I think we do say blessing when tovel on the glass, or maybe we don't. But for sure, it's obligated to be obligated to tovel it. Okay, I think we do say. Similar, no metal. Okay. So 1 second. Chazal decreed that the glass utensils, because it is similar to metal, require immersion in the mikveh. Okay. See Avodah Zarah 75b. Nevertheless, Chazal never addressed the issue of kashering glass. Oh, very interesting. Perhaps since one did not usually cook in a glass, right? And all of the forms of use with a hot water, such as irui or kli sheni, do not necessarily make the utensil treif. It was unusual in time Chazal to glass utensil to require kashering. So let's understand what it says here. So it said the Talmud does not say, Chazal that do not say about the kashering of the glass utensils. Why? Because you kasher something like where something had a very hot substance in it, right? A very hot substance, meaning that you cooked in it, and people did not cook in glass. Today they do, right? They have this Pyrex technology, right? This like it's like glass, but it's so strong you can put in your stove, and I don't know, even 500 degrees. I don't know, 350, maybe 450. I don't know, a lot. It's very, very hot, right? And it's very convenient. And some of them you can put even this lid, a special lid that you can put in the stove. That's unbelievable, right? most of the leads that they say don't put, by the way, microwave, you can put all these things, right? So it's not exactly glass. It's not. It's some composite material, right? So, but in olden days, nobody would put like a cook in this glass utensil. It's going to crack, right? In cooking glass utensil in all forms of use with hot water, so, right? And all forms of use with hot water. So meaning that maybe you have a cup like a glass cup you use for a tea or something. Hot water would be conveyed through irui. Irui, we said, is a stream, right? The stream that comes from kli rishon, from the first vessel that was on a fire. So it's not exactly like first vessel, but it's like a stream that came from first vessel. That's why when we discuss how you make coffee on Shabbos or tea on Shabbos, forget about tea, coffee on Shabbos. So we said that you have to go do through the second cup, right? So you put it in the first cup, and coffee and sugar you prepare in second cup, and then put from the first cup into that cup. So why? Well, what is the problem? Right? It's not going to, like, this water is very hot. So very hot, but we say, like, halachically in the second utensil, most likely it's not going to. Third utensil, it's tertiary. So first utensil, our teapot, like so this water urn, right? Where the water is being kept hot, right? And we pour into the cup, right? It's the second utensil, and we pour into this third utensil. So, but if you would take this third utensil, this cup directly, with what is it? With coffee and sugar, and pour from the first utensil. So, according to some poskim, this irui, this stream, is actually, since it is connected. The stream is connected to the source of heat, to the first utensils. It's like the first utensil. Not everybody agree, but we go of course by stringent opinion. We don't want like to be Michal Shabbos. Okay. So this irui, so it's not always make the things non kosher, and a kli sheni. So kli sheni meaning a secondary vessel. Okay. So this irui and kli sheni do not necessarily make utensil treif, right? Maybe when they would pour this like water or something into this glass utensils, it would be, let's say, like not hot. Hot meaning when yatzalet is born, when your hand recoils. Okay, so that's why maybe you would not need talk about Kashering at all. But today's things are different, of course. We need to continue. According to some poskim, glass is hard and smooth, non-porous, right, and cannot absorb taste. Right, it's opinion of the Shiur, the 135-23. They absorbed an insignificant amount, but according to Tas, they absorb nothing, and that's where lies difference between Ashkenazi and Sephardi custom, right? Okay, so according to one, they absorb some, right? The insignificant. According to Shach, the insignificant amount. According to Tas, nothing. Okay, so because it's like it's hard, very hard. Okay, so again, according to some poskim, glass is hard and smooth, non-porous, and cannot absorb taste. Okay, we said that. Thus, it will never become treif. That's an amazing thing, right? So thus, if it cannot, so how it can become treif? It's going to absorb forbidden taste, right? But if you cannot absorb the forbidden taste, so like you can always kasher like this glass utensils. It's not so simple, of course. Others contend that the glass is similar to metals and absorb taste, but may be kashered through hagala. Okay. So, and that's actually what we go by. We go by this opinion. Still others maintain that since the glass is made from a sand, it is comparable to earthenware and cannot be kashered. Oh, Sirema Yoredeya, or Chaim, sorry, 451:26, based upon the opinion of the Haskell of Paris, cited by it's Yosef. Okay. In summary, okay, there are three opinions with regard to glass. A, so you see, it's not so simple. A, glass does not require kashering, so completely. It's very lenient, as we understand. B, a glass needs to be kashered, but like nobody fries in a glass. I don't think so. Baking in a glass, maybe it's actually a good idea. Yeah, I think that's a good point. Right, if you bake in a glass. 1 second. Glass need to be kashered. Okay, so it's B. And C, glass cannot be kashered. Ashkenazic tradition follow the strictest view. Opinion C. Ooh, wow. Why I did not say so. Okay. Strict opinion. With regard to the kashering, chometz glass for Pesach. Okay, so chometz glass for Pesach. Okay. But many Ashkenazim poskim permit kashering glass. Opinion B. That's what I knew. That become treif with regard to other prohibitions. There is a metal glass into which the hot milk, meat glass in which the hot milk was poured. Sephardic tradition follows the most lenient opinion, A, and that never needs kashering, even for Pesach use. Okay, so there are a few commentaries that we're going to see, and let's summarize again three opinions. In summary, the three opinions regarding glass. A, glass does not require kashering, and right away we can say the Sephardim hold by this tradition. So that's a famous question. How many cups you need, right? For what is it? If you drink milk, if you drink coffee with milk, right, and then you decide to write in coffee with milk, then you wash it nicely, right, with a daily sponge, of course, and then clean with water, right, and then can you drink lemonade from the same cup, right? For example, with your steak, is it allowed? So according to Sephardim, there is no problem, right? According to Ashkenazi custom, you need to have 2 cups. One if you decide to drink coffee with milk, with cream, right? And then like part of cup or some or some that you use for meat. So what like a chicken soup or something, right? If you want to drink chicken soup, like just the broth itself. Okay, no problem. Okay, so second opinion, B, glass need to be and can be kashered. Okay, so Ashkenazi tradition, as we see, according to in the Halachos of Pesach, so we try to be as stringent, right? So as we always say, like in most of the cases, Ashkenazi tradition is much more stringent, right? And in most of the cases, there is some exception, as we saw before, like regarding this bread that may make by a non-Jew, but like only a few exceptions. Okay, right, and the third opinion, that glass cannot be kosher. So one, does not require kosher. Second is can be kosher, and third is the most stricter, of course, that cannot be kosher. So Ashkenazic tradition follow the stricter opinion. C, with regard to kosher chometz glasses for Pesach. I'm not sure. Like chometz glass, maybe they drank beer from that. I guess that's my guess, right? From this, okay, from these glasses. Many Ashkenazic poskim permit kosher glass. Opinion B, that become treif with regard to other prohibitions. Right, became meat glass, right? Meaning like a person would drink from this, what is it? From a chicken soup from this glass, right? And it was actually glass that was supposed to use for milk. Okay, so there is no problem. Or, I mean, they give a little different example, but same idea. Sephardic tradition follows the most lenient opinion, that glass never has been kosher even for Pesach. And never, like, of course, it's including Pesach. Okay, so that's the leniency. Okay, so let's continue. And then subsection 1, and it says purchasing used glass utensils. Why? Right, so, and it's very interesting. So let's see. Based upon lenient opinion A, cited above, one would be permitted to purchase used glass utensil from a non-Jew. Right? Wash and scrub them. I mean, it's glass, it's very simple to see, right? If it has any like deficiency, right? Some residue. And scrub them and use them after tevilah, right? Without Kashering. Okay, so you can buy them, right? Wash them thoroughly, right? I mean, I think if a non-Jew is going to sell something, it was already washed. Right? Like they need to give it market look or something, sellable look, right? Okay, right. And after that, so you can just dip into the mikveh and it is kosher. This seems to have the widely accepted custom in Europe. Okay. However, other poskim maintain that according to Ashkenazi custom, one must kasher any glass utensil purchased from a non-Jew. See Respondent Maharam Shik 141. So before we continue, so what we actually do? So like most of these glasses were never used for hot thing. Right, for example, you can buy a pitcher or something, right? Like wine pitcher, some antique or something, from eBay, right? There is no problem. So like nobody would put like hot chicken soup or some milk in the pitcher. Like that's not what people do. They usually put water in the pitcher or like some wine or something, right? So that's which would be cold, right? So in this case, we can kasher. How we would do kasher if it was used with a cold, right, and glass, cold and glass combination. So you just pour the water 3 times up to the brim. So we'll let it overflow. 24 hours, pour out the next one, and next one, and that's it. It became kasher. And you go to dip in the mikveh, and that's it, no problem. But it's very strange to me that he said that. Based on lenient opinion, a person glass utensil, based on lenient opinion, cited opinion A, meaning that it does not absorb at all, cited above, one would be permitted to purchase glass utensils from a non-Jew, used glass utensils, of course, from a non-Jew, wash them, scrub them, and use them after tevilah. Okay, without kashering them, no problem. Okay, this seems to be the widely accepted concept in Europe. Okay, no problem. So other poskim maintain that according to Ashkenazi custom, one must kasher the glass utensil, meaning this B, opinion B. Okay, no problem. Continue. Number 2, using one set of glass for both meat and dairy. Okay, so here we go. Right, so that's a difference between Ashkenazi and Sephardi. Right, there are those who use one set of drinking glasses for both meat and dairy meals. Besides relying on a lenient opinion above A, there is additional lenient consideration that these glasses are not used for hot meat and dairy drinks. So meaning there is no actually like just because a person uses this glass for milk does not mean that there is a meat in there, right? He drinks water, he drinks lemonade, something like apple juice or something, right? So right, and same with the dairy meal, right? Okay, so meaning that there are part of drinks in this cup, this glass, okay. Right, they're merely placed on a table with both meals and perhaps washed with both meat and dairy dishes. Okay. Okay, so meaning you have to wash it. So somewhere, so you have to decide where you're going to wash it. So of course, I guess if it was a dairy meal, for example, some residue left on from the cheese or something on the glass itself. So you don't want to wash it with meat sponge, right? With dairy sponge. While this was the commonly accepted custom in previous generations, when glasses were expensive, Poskim advised that nowadays Ashkenazic Jews should prefer use separate glasses for meat and dairy meals, and that's exactly what we do. So how much dairy you drink? Like for example, if right, it's one you just get yourself one cup and that's it. One glass in this case. One cup that you use for dairy. That's it. Your coffee cup, right? If you drink with milk. Commentary. 1 second. Where is the commentary? So beside the lenient opinion above, there's additional lenient consideration. The glasses are not used with meat and milk drinks. Okay, so commentary. They also rely on the opinion of Rima, opinion that Rima is strict only with regard to the Pesach, but concedes that with regard to other prohibition, glass does not require Kashering. Okay. Right, but as he said, it was in previous generations. So today it's preferable to use that separate glass utensils. So even though you're going to drink your apple juice or orange juice from this glass, is in a dairy meal or meat milk, so still have two separate cups. Continue. Sephardic custom. Sephardic custom follows the lenient opinion that glass does not absorb taste, right? Thus, Sephardic Jew may purchase glass utensils from a non-Jew and use it after thoroughly scrubbing. That's it. They may also use one set of glasses for both meal and dairy meal if they are washed thoroughly between the uses. That's it. So meaning that since they go by the first opinion that glass does not absorb at all, so they can use one set of glasses. Right, so it's Ashkenazi custom. We prefer to use two. Okay. So let's see. Well, 1 second. Let me quickly check time. I don't know where does the time go. I don't know. I don't want to say. Let's stop here, I guess, because it's a very long section. And the section title is Kashering glass utensils. Alright, so let's stop here. So let me see if I have any questions. One second. One second. So next question. Yeah, it's about Kashering. Is it true where the specific type of countertop that does not need Kashering and does not absorb the taste? I mean, we have to kasher all of the countertops. What would be the material? I don't know. So, I mean, in my experience, from what I understand, the countertops are made from what? From like a stone, natural stone for sure absorbs. Maybe fake stone is harder. I'm not sure. Like composite stone. I'm not sure. Maybe. We have to check, but for mica, for sure it's absorbed, so it's not well, plastic, because it's plastic, so it's absorbed. But stone, for example, since it absorbs, but it can release the taste. So you're allowed to kosher this countertop on for Pesach, and that's what we do. It's a little messy, but if you get what to do, like it's possible to do and looks nice. Like you don't have to. Some people cover with aluminum foil, all those things. I mean, it's not necessarily aluminum foil. You can do with plastic. If, for example, you have a countertop that you cannot be kosher for whatever reason, you can do with plastic. You can do with like paper. Like you want to do with aluminum foil, like look at like a spaceship. You can do with aluminum foil, no problem. But plastic protects as much. I mean, you're not going to rip it or something. Okay, no problem. So which one do not absorb? I have no idea. That's the only guess I have. Like even metal absorb. So for example, in a restaurant environment, right? That they have this stainless steel countertops. I mean, maybe some people have at home, like professional, I don't know, cook, but still you can kosher that. For sure, it absorbs. Okay. Okay, so next question. Ross, if someone was camping, okay, would it be permissible to cook food off a stone? If one was camping, would it be permissible to cook the food over a stone? Okay, so let's see, continue. Since the stone is technically a vessel, what halakhic stone should it fall into? No. Stone is not a vessel. So I don't know. I'm just if I understand correctly. So you have a stone, and around you have the fire, and stone becomes hot, and you put all your egg on that stone. That's how I understand the question, right? So the stone is not a vessel. It's not a vessel. It's nothing. So it cannot become unclean. So you just to remove the dirt, and then you can use it as your cooking top or something. Yeah, there's no problem with stone. Like vessel, vessel means that you fashion into the vessel. Like some people have make cups from the stone, some bowls, like beautiful, right? But those are vessel. But stone is not a vessel. Okay. And stone are actually the classic example of muktzah, because it's not a vessel. Okay. Continue. If there is a Kiddush cup for BeEzrat HaShem the Torah, wow, and that did not require Kashering because certain Kabbalistic instructions are written on the cup. No, one second. Why wouldn't we create these instructions in all the other utensils? We're going to read again. There is a Kiddush cup of BeEzrat HaShem. I heard it from Rabbi Rubenstein. Okay, some special cup, Kabbalistic cup. Okay, that did not require Kashering because certain Kabbalistic instructions. It's not because of that. So new vessels we're not obligated to kosher. So we only must kosher something that forbidden taste went into or different taste went in. For example, we use this cup for milk, and now that's it. I don't need for milk. We stop to drink milk, for whatever reason. So we have too many dairy cups, and then one this cup to make like a paref cup, right? So I can drink my tea with honey or something, right? So in this case, I would need to kosher this cup and make to make it paref. But if I buy a new cup from the store, doesn't matter. Like for BeEzrat HaShem from different store, so I just go and dip it in the mikveh. That's it. What you're not obligated to dip in the mikveh is something that was made by a Jew. Was these cups made by a Jew? I hope yes, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe yes. I mean, see instruction. Usually they would say you don't have to toil. But if you're not sure, what I would do is like sometimes you're not sure, right? So it's easy just to go and dip into the mikveh without blessing. That's it. So meaning what? What does it mean? So if it required like dipping, I did it, right? But I did not say like a blessing. So like there is no problem. So if required, so I dipped it. If it did not require, so I did not say the blessing. So there is no violation, right? So not everything that may made in Israel actually may made by Jews. Just so you know, unless you know for sure. Kabbalistic instructions. I'm not sure what Kabbalistic instruction written on a cup. Okay. Why wouldn't we create those instructions on all of the utensils? Okay, again, all of the new utensils we just have to dip into the mikveh. So I have one of the students, and he asked me what to do with the kameya. Right? I said, okay, kameya. I don't know anything about kameyas. I mean, I don't make kameyas. I don't, zero, right? Exactly zero. And I said, okay, send me the what is written in kameya. And then he sent me. I showed to the person who knows a few things, and the guy almost had a heart attack. He said it's the names of all of the angels. He said some things I don't understand. So I told this person, just go bury it. So don't have it in your house, right? Because the name of the angels. I mean, even he's shy to look at them. So it's like a disrespect. They're not going to let it go so easily. You understand? So especially if he try to pronounce the names. Okay. So we have to be careful with that. Okay, so next question. Right, question about purchasing used items. Okay. I wonder, would there be concern of negative spiritual effect, very interesting, residual from previous owners when purchasing the used item? Is there a difference among the different type of this object? Very good question. And what if the previous owner used the object for the sin? For example, a second-hand phone that previously owner used for sin. Okay, so that's very good question. So let's do from the beginning, try to explain. Question about the purchasing used items. So, I mean, our topic is... let's start from our topic, right? From eating utensils. So technically, like for example, if you want to buy silver spoons, silver forks or so. So if you go to the store and try to buy new, like hundreds of dollars. But if you buy used, maybe it's scratched a little, but whatever. I mean, who cares about scratch? So you can buy it and you can kosher it. There is no problem. And then there are beautiful utensils. They sell very cheap, like estate sale or something, or some even like pitchers. Some pitchers they have like old one like crystal, right? Crystal like beautiful for Shabbos use. Absolutely, you can buy that and kosher it, and there is no problem. So I mean, in these pitchers, sometimes you know by the hole or the hole and something they're not straight, they're like a banded in a nice shape, so it would be like impossible to wash it, right? So meaning, and if they put wine, like even wine, so it would stain the glass. So for sure there was nothing nothing like that. So if anything, they had water there. So in this case, yeah, you can kosher it, no problem. So metal for sure. I mean, nobody was going to buy a used pot. But even if you bought, you can kosher it, as we said. So next part of the question, wonder if there concern negative spiritual effect, residual from previous owner purchased the used item. So with a kosher, it's very simple. You kosher and you remove spiritual effect. But is it the spiritual effect got stuck to the item? It's very good question. So I assume maybe yes. But since if there is a difference among the different types of this object. Okay, so let's read the completely. What is the previous owner used this object for sin? For example, second-hand phone that the previous used for the sin. So I'm going to explain my dilemma. So we know for sure that the things that were used for Kiddush HaShem, something like we read how much yesterday we read in this Sefer Chofetz Chaim, how much you would give money for one shoe of Holy Chofetz Chaim, how much you give money just for a pen that he wrote, for the chair that he sat on. So meaning that it's not only this, but there is some spirituality, I guess. or right, that went into this item, into this chair, into his shoes. Right, so that's why if it's used for holy things, for sure, there is something attached from a negative. But again, you can purify this item. You can buy this phone and use it for learning lectures. You understand? So you can change. I think if you can change humans, so for sure you can change the inanimate objects, I think. Right, if Rahav changed from being the most expensive harlot, and she became the biggest tzaddikus, right? Maybe on that generation, maybe not the biggest, but very big. She married the king, right? Yeshua. Right. So needless to say, we can clarify, purify this phone to put it in for the holy use. And same, they actually buy the churches, just so you know. If shul can buy a church, right? The Jews can buy a church and convert it to a synagogue, right? So of course there are a lot of impurity in the church, and they would use it for something holy. Absolutely possible. So one of the synagogue that I have in my mind is one of the most beautiful synagogue I've ever seen in my life. Right, it's called Bialystok Synagogue. Bialystok is a name of a town, I think, in Poland, I think. Right, so it's in Manhattan, city of Manhattan, Lower East Side. They actually have tours because it's historic building. So it's like all these buildings around, skyscrapers, and there is two-story, right, shul. Very beautiful, very very beautiful. Actually, the kosher community. I'm not sure if Moshe Feinstein that's prayed there. I don't think so, but he lived not too far from there, several blocks. Right, and what I mentioned, it was a church for sure. It was a church, and Jews bought it and converted it to synagogue. Okay. So next question. Question about kashering material, kasherable materials. Is stoneware considered earthenware utensil? I read it's made of stoneware clay, so let's leave it for later, because I'm not sure. So, but he's going to talk in this book about it, right? Stoneware clay. It could be because of the glaze. So that's I mean it's not pure stoneware, right? I mean it's not pure earthenware. It's a glazed. So glazed is because of its thickness and material that used. So maybe it's considered like a glass, right? So we'll see. So let's okay. So let's do 5 minutes break, and we continue with other subjects. 5 minutes, and we do the story, I guess, today. Right. So we continue with the book Varev now, where we ask very interesting halachic questions, and we give answers, of course. BeEzrat HaShem. So let's start. So we continue with Parashat Shmini, and today's topic is busting the Treif meat syndicate. Right. So the continuation of the non-kosher food as we did in previous story. The challenge. Late one night, a Jewish police officer finished his shift and went home, passing through a back alleyway on the way. Just then, he saw a suspicious-looking truck pull up to the back door of the kosher meat store, and he stopped and stood at a distance, hidden by the shadows. And he watched Arabs unloaded meat and passing into the hands of the man who had come out of the store. Whoa. When they finished, the man from the store paid them and they drove off. From his position, the police officer could see the truck was still loaded with meat when it left. The officer understood that the store was buying treif meat from Arabs and selling to unsuspecting customers on the pretense that it's being kosher. Right? If this truck was still loaded with meat. Evidently, there was other kosher meat stores elsewhere doing the same business. Okay, so okay. The officer, so as like it's terrible thing. Like, can you imagine that some of us be in that situation? So you try to keep kosher, you try to pay top dollars for this meat, and guess what? You come to the store, and the store is the owner is nice with a big kippah, with a big hat, long beard, and he speaks all of the correct phrases. And guess what? He's buying meat from non-Jews, right? Non-kosher meat. Because why? He makes, I don't know how many, like a lot of money. So we went somewhere on Wednesday. It was a Wednesday, and we were passing one like it was a traffic light. So like on the side, it was a non-kosher meat store, and they had advertising about like box of the chicken legs or something. So I calculated it's like 4 times less than the kosher ones. 4 times. 4 times. So if you ask me, yeah, would I differentiate, like see the difference between kosher chicken? Me personally, I would not. I don't know. Right? So it's very interesting. I mean, I hope there is no blood, like blood in the non-kosher chicken, but otherwise, like go figure. Understand? So like if somebody would like to do that, so like it's hard not to do it, because like you have to be truly God-fearing person in order not to do it. So I'm not sure how much he makes on a pound of this kosher one, but if you take non-kosher, for sure, like he would make so much money, right? So the officer was then faced with a dilemma. If he immediately publicized the scandal, he could save the customers of this particular store from buying a Treif meat the next day. Okay. However, if he kept matter quiet, while he could post a car next to the store every night until the truck returns, right? He could then have the truck followed to the other stores where it is unloaded the Treif meat, and thereby catching the whole syndicate. Right, so saving many more unsuspected Jews from buying treif meat. So, like, you will already understand the coming up question. So, what is better, right? To save these people tomorrow, right, or to bust the whole operation with non-kosher meat, right, and save many more people. So, to save the few tomorrow, or save this few and plus many others, like in some times from now. It's not such an easy question to answer, no? What is better what is better, to save the customers from a particular store now, or to allow them keep buying and eating treif meat in order to save many more Jews from eating treif in the long run? Okay, so that's a very simple question. So just because somebody has a kosher business, it's not because he is observant person, because it's a market, right? There is market for kosher meat. So he decided to go in the market. Like if like he could sell whatever is it, whatever is sellable, he would sell, right? So unfortunately, solution. Mishnah Moed Katan 2a discusses the practice of painting graves white in order to prevent people from accidentally passing over them and thus transmit a ritual impurity to or Kiddushin sacrifices. Okay. So meaning it was like there's no like a tombstone or something. They just there were no markers, right? So they would or maybe it was tombstone, like maybe flat one, so that they would like paint it in white. Okay. The Gemara 5b notes that although even a kazais of olive-sized piece of a dead body transmits impurity, the burial place of such a small piece was not painted white, since it would be soon decompose. Okay. Until even nothing in kazais left, and there would be no need to no more concern of impurity. Okay, so the whole to paint the whole grave, we understand. There is it's understand because they don't have. I'm not sure. Tell the truth, I'm not sure how is it understandable. I mean, because there are bones. Okay, bones. So if you have a kizayis of meat, it's going to decompose. So nobody is going to mark it and like. Okay, so that's understandable. Okay. Continue. Our sages were concerned that people might accidentally pass over the site while bearing the truma, and then notice the white paint, right? So meaning that they were like bearing truma, meaning they were carrying truma somewhere, and while it is in their hands, right? They're not touching the food itself, but it's in a sack or in a basket or something. So and they would walk over this grave, right? And grave impurity comes all the way to the skies, right? So this person would make the truma impure, and they would, right? So okay. I mean, until he noticed, like even in kizayis, let's say they try to market that there is a kizayis. I mean, people do not watch like especially maybe it's dark, this and that, so they don't pay attention, right? So he walked over, and now it became impure. The truma became impure, and then they would need to burn the burn truma, right? Presuming that the site was impure, while in fact it was not, since the kizayis would already have decomposed. It is forbidden to destroy truma that is pure. Okay, so to destroy truma that is pure, we actually had we had a clip about destroying the truma that is pure also. I'm going to tell you what clip was it when we say if there is if there is a truma left, chometz truma left before Pesach, right? And to tomorrow's Shabbos, tomorrow is Pesach, and maybe Pesach on Sunday even. Maybe let's make it on Sunday. So they say like you are not allowed to destroy. One opinion. Maybe Eliyahu Hanavi is going to come, right? Because there's no coin to eat, right? There's no coin to give it this truma to, and they say maybe they're coining like visiting. They are outside of the premises or of the town. Maybe they're going to come in. Maybe yes, maybe no. So they say, or maybe right. Maybe it was questionable to or maybe Eliyahu Hanavi comes and say, Eliyahu Hanavi is not going to come on Friday. Not. Why? Because Jews must prepare for Shabbos. Jews must prepare for Sunday, and Eliyahu Hanavi would disrupt their preparations. So it's very interesting, right? How, and we say that's how we know it's very important to prepare for holidays. Okay. So here we go. Same with truma. So if they marked this piece of kizayis with the white, and maybe it's decomposed already from after some time, and then this person walks over and he holds it in truma, and he saw this white spot, and he understood that it was marked because there is a impurity. So and now he's going to burn the whole truma, the whole sack of truma that he was holding, bearing, right? And it was actually the pure truma. Right? It did not become impure. It is forbidden for us to destroy truma because it has sanctity. So here we go. So our sage is saying, in other words, don't mark this one kizayis. The whole grave, yes, but the one kizayis not. So I think we understand what he's leading to. On the other hand, since such a site was not painted white, people might innocently pass over the bearing truma, before kizayis decomposed, right? So if you don't mark it completely, so people would go there and make the truma impure and not realize that truma will became impure, right? They gave to kohen. A kohen was going to eat something that is forbidden to him. Nevertheless, our sages gave great consideration to a long-range term problem of many people continuing to burn pure truma for years to come, as opposed to the smaller short-term problem of a few people carrying pure truma over unmarked grave before kizayis decompose. So I mean, if you just think about like how this great mind, like how to, we had many questions how to become humble, how to make yourself humble. I mean, just read this story. They read this story. Just from this story, that makes me humble personally, because I would never ever be on the level to draw this parallel, like how this meat stores, like how they connected to this truma. But if you when you read it and you understand the explanation of how holy tzaddikim, you say, of course, like how like it makes perfect sense. So they say, if you mark this one kizai, simple words, right? If you mark this one kizai, maybe decomposed long time ago, but you mark it state, and people walk over, and then they know, so many I see that they think that their truma became impure, and they would burn it for many years to come, even though this kizai is decomposed long time ago. So better not to mark this kizai at all. And maybe some people become impure, right? Truma of some people become impure, they become impure as well, right? Then in a long term, like to make that other people unsuspected, people burn truma for no reason whatsoever. Right. So that's, I mean, if we go deep inside, I mean, I think it's very simple to be humble, very simple. Perhaps this principle can be applied to our case as well. The large long-term problem, meaning to bust all of the chain of this Rishaim problem, of many stores selling treif meat should be given greater consideration than the small short-term problem with this one particular store. However, the important, so looks like based on this comparison, it's better let some people. I mean, what can we do? Let them eat non-kosher, but and then trying to buzz the whole syndicate. But just so we know, like people will say, yeah, we were such innocent people. We ate non-kosher. These crazy guys. I mean, if we were such a big tzaddikim, just so you know, right, Hashem would not allow us to eat from the store. I don't know, we had a food poison or something, and I said, I never ever go into this store. Like, you understand? So like he would prevent, like car would explode, something, right? Or somebody said, look, I have a big sale, half a price, right? The most kosher meat. Something, he would stop us. So meaning, like, if these things happen to us, so we have to like do hishbon nefesh. We do self-searching, because bad things happen to the bad people, right? Maybe not indirectly their fault, but we have to see like why Hashem allowed me personally to buy from this person who is on treif. Understand? So that's very important to see to look at the issue this way. He's Rasha, yes. He's going to gain known for Mechti Rabim, for eating other people, feeding other people, not kosher. That's for sure. But why I was the one of the victims? That's the question. However, the important distinction can be made between these two cases. In our case, we ask which solution take precedence: the largest solution that will take time to apply, or the smaller solution that can be applied immediately, right? Immediately. In case of Gemara's case, in case of Gemara case, we wait the solution of the short-term problem, that kizais will be imparted impurity until it decomposes, but I think it would be very short time, against the creation of long-term problem, right? That the pure truma will be burnt unnecessarily for the years to come, and the result of misleading paint. What right have we to create one problem in order to solve another? right? So that's, I mean, we figure like that's understandable. So are we allowed to resolve small issue and create a bigger issue? Or in this case, of course, they were going to be more sneaker, and they're not going to do it at night or do some other things, right? These people, because they're on the goal. They make a lot of money, right? So continue. If the officer were to immediately publicize his findings, he would fail to solve the larger problem, but he certainly could not be blamed for creating it. Therefore, perhaps the immediate issue of saving the customers of the store should take precedence. So what? It's very good point again. So if he publicized now, so he would fail to resolve the bigger issue, right? But it was not his issue to begin with. It's not like he created this issue, right? Therefore, perhaps the immediate issue of saving customers of this store should take precedence. But other people, like, they also suffering. So today in civil society, in civil like a court, like police, right? Police would allow these drug dealers to operate for years before they would arrest them, right? Because they would know, would try to figure out who are bosses, what the supplies. So other people died from overdose. Yes. Do they care? Not so much. Not so much. So they because they have a bigger goal, to bust it on the road. Okay. Rav Zilberstein relate this question to his father-in-law, Rav Zilberstein Shlita, relate to this question to his father-in-law, Rav Eliashiv, Shalom Eliashiv Zatzal, who ruled that the officer findings should be immediately revealed in order to protect the customers of the particular store, right? So we would not expect this, right? There is certain immediate benefit must not be sacrificed for the sake of possible future benefit. You see how he stated of others. So again, the certain immediate benefit must not be sacrificed for the sake of the possible future. Maybe there are no different stores. Maybe, right? Maybe this ad comes every, I don't know, every 2 weeks, right? How do you know? Others. We have no right to act as a broker for Averas, right? Broker for Averas, meaning to help this person do Averas. Weighing the severity of one against the other and deciding which seems more acceptable. Rather, we must do our best to prevent Averas immediately in each situation as it arises. So, I mean, logically, we would decide based on Gemara. So here, Shalom Eliashiv, he said, no, it's not how it works in this specific case. In this specific case, he said, no, you can stop this avera on this level. You must do it, right? Very interesting. So again, I'm going to read the last sentence, the last 2 sentences. We have no right to act as a broker to averas, weighing the severity of one against the other and deciding which seem more acceptable. Right? Of course, I mean, logically, second issue, second solution acceptable. Follow behind this shark and see who else is buying from this guy. Rather, we must do our best to prevent averas, right, immediately. Okay. In each situation arises. It's a very interesting story. Okay, so we start here. Okay, so yeah, thank you very much. So let's see the next question. Next question. Question about blessing. Okay, I wonder if we allow to bless someone with a priestly blessing. May Hashem bless us every safeguard. I think so. Yes, we allow. So that's what actually we do. We bless our children, right? With a blessing for a girl, for a boy, and actually a man can bless his wife, right? She's a girl. She's a young lady. So you bless her, so she be like Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah. So what is it? There is no problem. So meaning the answer is yes. Simple people can bless with this blessing, special blessing. Yes. Friday night. Okay. So continue. Oh, Eliyahu Hanovi is not going to come. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's what the time. Okay, so continue. Rav, I thought it was heavily frowned upon to draw halachic conclusion from Mishnah and Gemara. Okay. Okay. I thought it was heavily frowned upon to draw halachic conclusion from Mishnah and Gemara. Yes, it is true, right. It is frowned upon, but it's for simple people like you and I. For the the great Gadolim like Rav Sholem Eliashib, that's what they used. Absolutely, right? They try to find similarity, like what this case is compared to in a Talmud, and that's why many people they went against who Rabbi Moshe Feinstein Zatzal when he just started publishing his Teshuvah. He said, "Who do you think he is?" Like he goes directly to Gemara. How about pasuk from 700 years ago, like I don't know, 1,000 years ago, like 500, like 300, like that's it. He goes exactly. So he compares himself. That of course there were people like that. They went against him, but as we know, the result he was right, and he was a big blessing for the whole nation. You understand? So that's of course sometimes he would use other people, right? Other like a great poskim of later generation, but many times he would go and see how is it compared to in Gemara to which examples. Like I mean, if you see this example about the graves, of course I would never ever, if I even remember this case, I would never ever like in my mind to draw the parallel. That's because you have to be such a great chacham. You understand? So, but they for us, no, for them, absolutely, that's what they do. Right? Rabbi Zilberstein, yeah, the greatest of the great, yes. But for others people, yeah, I mean, you can say it's a story, but to draw halachic conclusion, absolutely not. Even about halachic discussion, even if Gemara says halacha is like this, is like Rav Yechashua. Okay, so what it tells is exactly zero. If you Rambam, yeah, it tells you everything. If we so just follow Shulchan Aruch. Continue. Next question. Rav, if we have close friends that we know would not bear to grudge against us. Okay, that's good. Are we allowed to forcibly drag them to Torah lectures? Would they still get a mitzvah if they did not come willingly to it first? Okay, so let's read again. I mean, it's a very very close relationship. So if you act in some case like so violently against another person, he still loves you. I mean, that's amazing, right? If we have a close friend that would not bear grudge against us, right? And we are allowed to forcibly pull and drag them to Torah lecture. I think so. I mean, because I'm going to explain why. Would we still get a mitzvah? If they did not come willingly first? Yes, absolutely. We get the mitzvah. We do our shtadlus. If you know that the person is not going to like hate Torah even more, yeah, absolutely. You're allowed to force them and bribe them to do whatever is possible, because hopefully they're not that bad, and Torah is going to melt the Yetzer Hara, and next time they're going to run. Then they're going to run to the mitzvah, right? Very interesting. And you got the mitzvah, and they got the mitzvah, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. They still learn Torah. It's very important, right? Very important. And one of the people that I put on my archive. And they came from archive. It's like a dead person to me, like almost. I don't want to care. I would check my archive maybe once in I don't know, Blue Moon. So I saw I have too many messages in my archive. So I went, and this person sent me and said, please listen. Please listen. Maybe you can use it for your Kiruv strategy. Kiruv strategy. Thank you very much. And person said, I was planning to send to Rabbi Mizrahi as well. Okay, send to Geinom also if you want. So what is the story? From what? Why Jacobson? Shem Rishaim Kav, right? This Rasha that say that there is no Geinom. This Rasha that say there is no punishment. This Rasha that say Chabadnik is the best, and other people, not good. So we had that actual discussion, this class, of the story that he told. Right, of this rich woman that used to be religious, and then she stopped to be religious, and right when she came to America, from important Hasidic families back in Russia now, and she went to Canada, I think, right, and she was working in a textile business, the worker, right. And then she opened her own business, became very successful, multimillionaire, this and that. And it was after the war, so Chabadniks tried to raise the money for yeshiva. So they raised exactly $7.50 for the whole building, right? Even back then, it was. Maybe it's a lot of money, not enough to build the building and stuff like that. And she saw an advertisement, and she came. And said, I want to pay for the whole bill. How much you want to contribute? 3%, 2%? No, she said, I want to build the whole building. And she gave all of the money, right? And they built the whole building. When the next time she went to New York, so she went to visit this previous Rebbe, Rashav, I don't remember, whatever they call him, whatever they call him. And this Rebbe, if this guy is a clown, this Jacobson telling the truth, because sometimes he can cry on the camera, for sure. He's such a con artist, right? So he's saying that this Rebbe starts showering her with all of the blessing, and maybe you do this, in that, and that. And she said, and she was so embarrassed. And at one point she said, Rebbe, please, enough. I'm not home. I'm not home. I'm not religious. I'm not religious, Rebbe. I'm not deserving this. And this all of this blessing, and Rebbe stop blessing her, and she said about this phrase that for me you stick the knife into my heart. He said, but who knows who is from today? Who, all of these religious people, besides Chabadniks, they're fakers. Of course they're not Hasidish according to clips that they were published, right? They see who knows who is from. You're for sure from. Even though you told me that you're not religious, forget about it. You're very religious. You gave us money. Money make you from. Exactly. So that's the clown, right? So now he told the story that when he was on a wedding, on some wedding, so he met this rabbi, this great rabbi from I think he was a rabbi in Newark, New Jersey. Used to be big community. There is still community there, the way I understand, but not as big. Okay. I've never been there, but okay, doesn't matter. Still community. But it used to be big Jewish community, maybe after the war. This clown asked that rabbi, how long have you been a rabbi? He said, from 1949 or something. I don't know, something or 1943, from many years ago. So he said by that time 50 years, maybe from 1949 or something. And so he said that I got a job as a young rabbi, and there were no Orthodox Judaism, right? People very scarcely, right? And I became a rabbi, and I said to you have to all this balabasim, right? All the working people, you have to keep Shabbos, you have to eat kosher, you have to send your children to the yeshivas, you have to do this and that. Okay, and once after the second speech, president comes over to me. He said, look, it's not going to work very well in this community, so maybe we can send you back, basically. So he said, change your attitude or you send you back. And he said, isn't it a job of the rabbi to give people musar, to encourage them to keep? He said, not in this place. So if you want to keep the job, you have to give people compliments, say how great they are. And he got very upset. He did not know what to do. Should I sell Hashem for this job, or like should we be truthful? And he did not know what to do, and he went to this Rebbe, the previous Rebbe. Rebbe was very sick, and he told the story what to do, and Rebbe tell him, right, do you go to sauna, schwitz? Schwitz is like what's schwitz? It's in Yiddish like sweat, right? Schwitz, right? Schwitz. Right, to go Schwitz and say, yeah, go Schwitz. It was very popular, the way I understand back then. Today also, people Hasidim like to go to the sauna, right? To sit on the first level. It's not that hot. You go on the second level and third level. It's like it's all of this burning coals, and they put water, steam fills the room, like it's very hot. And then after that, they have this what is it? The bunch of like what is it? They stay like branches with the leaves, right, from birch tree usually, like, and then they like heat you a little, so a person like hot, very very hot, and then he likes it, he enjoys it so much, so he asks for more. Okay, so yeah, so he said that's exactly what you have to do. Like you first, you don't like, and the Rebbe said, but what are you going to do? So you ask for more, right? In this sauna, he said, absolutely, I love it. So, but imagine somebody comes to you. Honestly, it's like hitting you with a broomstick. Would you like it? Would you ask for more? He said, absolutely not. Maybe I beat up the guy, maybe call police, like maybe run away, but like for sure I would not like it. He said exactly. So you now like you come like you're a person who comes from the street and start hitting them with a broom. So that's not how it works. But if you warm him up, and then like you start hitting him like when they're ready. So then would ask for more and so forth. And the guy is crying, there's tears on these fake tears on the screen. It's very interesting. So this lady, this crazy lady, I have to block you one day. So she said like maybe you have to change the tactics, the kirov. But we know these Chabadniks, they never go to the last stop. Oh. That's they just do the compliments, and that's how it stops. So on a theory, it looks unbelievable, but in practice, it is a lie. So it's taken out of context. But as a parable, it's unbelievable parable. And plus, we know about this Wyver Jacobson. So I'm not sure why I had to watch it before the class, but that's what I did. Baruch Hashem. So it made me a little angry. Okay. So right, but people are being like fooled because of with all of the propaganda. So propaganda, I mean, but then you see the results with your own eyes. So there is no God-fearing people there, almost not existent. There's nobody gives rebuke ever. So meaning like they only like warm them up. Everybody on a level one, like they give all of the fake compliments. And it says clearly that Hashem hates these flatterers. We just say today, right? It's one of the 4 categories of people that Hashem, Shekhinah, is not going to reveal. Why? Flatterers. Because Hashem hates these people. Right? But that's the reality that we're living. Okay. Okay, so let's see the next question. And it says, could I have a general question? I wonder, is it proper to have emotional attachment to our sages or even biblical characters? It's a very good question. So let me do one by one. I wonder, is it proper to have emotional attachment to our sages or biblical characters? I think it's absolutely obligated to have to a person to have this emotional attachment to some of them, like whoever is close to you, right? And that's when people ask me what name should I choose, and they sometimes they rely on me to choose name for themselves, like Jewish names about Jews, non-Jews. Jew never had a Jewish name, so I want to choose. So I always tell them like the same answer. Like first of all, I don't know anybody is so good. Right, but I would tell them to go to the one of these websites with Jewish names, and they have all of the characters. Like who else in the Torah was like some developed website? Who else in the Tanakh were named with this name? Right, and you go read and see what is a character that closest to you. So don't ask me. I mean, I would not know, like because of your internal feelings, right? So I have a personal attachment. Some sages that that we learn from. So I think like my grandfather, for sure, like Rav Michtav Meliyahu, Rabbi Dassler. That's all. I feel like for personal connections. I feel like he's my grandfather. Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, absolutely. Right, Chofetz Chaim, yes. Right, for sure. Right, other sages, maybe not as much. Like older, like from a Talmud. I mean, they're too high. I'm not saying that this is to those of the low, but they're on such a high level, so you cannot really relate to them. But those are from a previous generation, absolutely. Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, yes. Right, so yeah, it's absolutely proper to have this attachment. Right, because if you have this attachment, it's a spiritual attachment, that's what we're going to talk about, right? And that's what we try to convey to our children. That's that's the hero, that's my hero. And you're going to learn the stories about the hero, hero. And guess what? The children, they would want to be like this hero. Or even other people, like some people like who heard Michtav Eliyahu. I mean, the people who do not know, like they heard of Russia, of course, but Rabbi Dassler not so much, right? But when you try to see the genealogy of his, like he came from Rabbi Israel Salanter, what couldn't be holy in this world, right? To be one of his descendants. You understand? So next, sages biblical character we answer. Absolutely, that's I had also a personal attachment to one of the biblical character, and it was very close to me, and I felt like there were like a lot of similarity between us. So he was not exactly the most like popular, the most positive, but he was doing something that was needed to be done. And after he was doing that, like people were frowned at him, like they were against him, right? Right. But everybody benefit from what he did. So he did all of the dirty job. Everybody said, no, it's not good. Why would you do that and stuff like that? And you should not have done it and stuff like that. But that they understood that what he did was actually good. Until I read till the end of his story and all of these things, so he became like turned sour and at the end. Right. So that's where our love stopped. Continue. Would it be a concern if one admires sage from previous generation? Sorry, it's jumping. More than your husband. I mean, a person can admire, but don't tell your husband, because a husband can get jealous. Right? Men are like that. Right? Some people, some men jealous to your wife with like a lightning pole. Right? So for no reason. So don't try not to give a reason to get jealous. Yeah. Okay. Right, but it's very, very important to have the spiritual attachment, I think. So, right, where I was close to you. Continue. Would it be hypocritical if we cry for a passing of Moshe Rabbeinu, but do not feel the same extent sadness for destruction of the temple? Would it be hypocritical if we cry for a passing of Moshe Rabbeinu, but not feel the same extent of sadness, destruction of the temple? So in order to cry for something or somebody, you have to learn a lot about it, right? What exactly we lost, and it's most of the people know a lot about what Moshe Rabbeinu represent, but not so much what our holy temple represented. So that's the only reason. But when you start reading about the temple and how and you not when we talk about when we cry about the temple and when the Tisha B'Av is coming, so we're not crying about the stones and all of the decorations and the wood and the stones that were destroyed, right? We cry about the Shekhinah that was supposed to be there. Hashem said, I want to be among my people, among Jewish people, build me a sanctuary, this tabernacle in the desert. Then we built him this temple, and he was among us, and now because of what we did, so he left. So for this we should cry, and this is like, if you think about it, like David said. So he said, Hashem, I cannot. Please allow me to build your temple, because every day, like when I wake up, like when I go to sleep, so I live in a house of the wood and stone, but the Shekhinah is in a tent, like in a tent. Meaning what this the iron kodesh is in a tent. Yes, it's in Yerushalayim, but it's in a tent. It's disgrace. So I'm the king. I'm in a palace, but Hashem is outside, right? So he said, I cannot bear it. Like I just thinking about it. So maybe this is the idea that we have to like think about, that Hashem is not allowed himself to return among us. So that's the exile of the Shekhinah, not only us, but Hashem, who wants to reside among us, but we're not allowed with our, unfortunately, with our deeds. Okay. But to cry about Moshe Rabbeinu, yes, because we know who he was and how he was like advocate about for Jewish people, right? So it's very special song. Next question: how would we direct those emotions toward the holy sages to serve Hashem? How should we direct those emotions toward the holy sages? So we learn the Torah of the holy sages, and the more we learn the Torah of these holy sages, so that the more we connect to them. You understand? So maybe it's my guess. Some people have a closer attachment to Moshe Rabbeinu because we read about him in the Chumash, right, in Midrashim and stuff like that. So that's why we have connection. So you learn about the sages and their Torah, like in their Torah. So you fall in love with everything that's going on. Yes. Nice. Next question. Rav, is it permitted / proper to say priestly blessing with kavana for our shidduch, that we may have not yet met? That's not. Let me read again. It is permissible to say priestly blessing with kavana for our shidduch that we have not met yet. Not yet met. It's not such an easy question. So are you allowed to say this priestly blessing just and do not mean anybody? I'm not sure. I mean, it's a very good question. If you know, like I would say, if you know, like if you know somebody that this blessing should be directed, there is no problem. And just so we know, we say this blessing every morning. Just so we know, like individuals, we say in the morning all these 3 lines 3 times. 3 times you say it. I mean 3 times in one paragraph in the morning blessings. For everybody says. Right after the right in the morning blessings. Okay. Actually, 2 times. One in a blessing of the Torah, right? It says only once. We say these 3, and then in another place you say each of these blessing 3 times, right? So if while you anyway is supposed to say it, and you like you have a command, so it's also should go on that person our the like future shidduch. Yeah, I think so, but you use it as also. Right, that's like a keyword also. So continue. Are we allowed to read the Shir HaShirim on Tisha B'Av? Absolutely not. No. Is it a reminder of how Shekhinah is no longer dwell? No. And we always scribe and read it. No, it's one. Sages gave us specific subject that I allowed to learn on Tisha B'Av. Right, and we have to stick to that, right? So we will learn kinos, right? We'll learn about distractions, like if you started reading kinos, like it would take several hours just to finish, right? And there are other books, inspiration books, Article cells, other cells, that are dedicated to specifically to Tisha B'Av, But Shir HaShirim, it's like a song of love between Hashem and the Holy Nation. Yeah, maybe we get excited, maybe we cry, but not necessarily we cry because of something like that is bad, but because cries of joy, right? How this Shlomo HaMelech described the closeness between Hashem and our nations, and then how he answered other nations, like almost not every day, but every other day. Today we had to. All the clowns, the Muslims, and they say, like some Christians, they say, who you, with your prayer, with your God. So it was very disrespectful. Had to block them. Right? Right, but Shir HaShirim, no. Okay, so next question, Korav. Why is it that even someone who is not prone to cry may on rare occasion read the certain pasuk and just immediately brings them to tears, seemingly out of nowhere? So that's a very good question. Why is that? Why is it that even someone who is not prone to crime, okay, may on rare occasion read a certain pasuk that just immediately brings them to tears, seemingly out of nowhere? So I guess it's if I understood correctly, it's the same pasuk. Right? Then all of us are supposed to have some verses. I mean, the whole Torah is holy, but some verses that talks to us personally. So I have these verses, like several of them, like especially from the Psalm of the day, on Thursday. So the Thursday is my day, right? So one verse. I'm not going to say what, but it's like always like this verse like changed me completely, right? From what I was some time ago, like. To what I am now, right? It affected me very, very much. That one verse, I never saw the explanation of that verse, and I never read the deep, maybe the Shema of that verse, but like simple, straightforward explanation, like understanding for me, it's like it was very effective, still effective. Like sometimes, unfortunately, we space out, like especially in the end of the downing. So I try to force myself to go back and read it again and again. Right. So, and all of us should have like favorite verses that push us like to higher spiritual realms. Yes. Right. So, like special attachments. So, like this specific verse talks to that person. Why? There is a spiritual attachment. So, next question. And I think we have to do another book as well. So, next question. General question. Could Rav teach us a bit about Rav Harav Yaakov Ades Shlita? We only watched the translation video from BeEzrat HaShem regarding Harav, and when hearing his prayer, we tend to tremble and cry. Tell the like straight right away. I don't know much about him. I know that he's for a holy person. He's very, very genuine. He came from lineage of the great family, but that's what I know about him. I don't know. I don't know much about him. So okay. So next question about Tisha B'Av. Are we allowed to read stories about Holocaust Tisha B'Av? That's absolutely, yeah. By a biography of Klazenberg Rebbe. That's all. Yes, absolutely. We'll be allowed to read all of these things. Right. And there's one book, like there are other books, like when they're dedicated to the 3 weeks and what happened in Holocaust. So me personally, in one of the classes, we learned book of Rabbi Daniel Gladstein, great younger person, a great rabbi. I mean, maybe not so young anymore, but still, yeah, young. Right? Baruch Hashem, so very, very talented individual, very, very unusual person. Right, and he tells about all the story. His great grandfather was a Holocaust survivor, and he was rabbi, the last rabbi of that city. I'm not sure it was in Yugoslavia or something. I don't remember exactly, or Slovenia. I don't know, one of these European countries. And he was he went through all the Holocaust from the beginning to the end, death marches, everything. And he was telling, I think he was Warsaw Ghetto as well, about the pricing and how how this poskim, the greatest minds were in Poland, just so you know, right? And the greatest of the greatest. And they were decided because the Christian church had a special connection with Nazi. They could take them out, like 5 of them, I think, 4 or 5 of them, the greatest. And they had to debate. In the debate, it was not such an easy debate. On one hand, it's easy to concentrate on helping others. When you're outside, when you're in prison, it's you cannot help them. But when you're out, it's you would consider better on the prayers, with the prayers, this and that. But in other in other sense, you rob these people your congregants, the Jewish people from the hope of surviving. So your Rebbe left, he ran away, and we know some rabbis actually they made it before the Holocaust, right? They, just before escaped the Nazi. I think Lubavitch Rebbe was one of them. You understand? But they decided they're not allowed to do that. They're not allowed to leave the people, right? To leave them without hope. Right? And they have to stay in the back, in the ghettos, and boost the morale of the people. All of them died, of course. No one survived, right? So when we read the story, we were crying, unbelievable. They created a Beis Din. Are we allowed to leave or not? Right? So it's very, very, very moving stories, right? Very, very very moving stuff. Of course, the stuff like that we're allowed to read and learn a lot, and take it as a lesson. So nobody guaranteed us peace, nobody guaranteed that as for shalom it never happen again, right? We have to purify ourselves and be on a level that protect this world, right? The Jews can protect this world for sure. So next question, I have a question about prayer. I wonder if we pray alone, what should we add in bircas hakodesh? We see this in a calendar on Shabbos preceding Rosh Chodesh. Oh. It's a very interesting question. I'm not sure if individual would bless us. It's a very good question. I think it's only being done in a synagogue, but we have to read the commentaries. I have a commentaries here. 1 second. See, I prepared Sidur. I was talking about something else. So bircas hakodesh would be before Musaf. It's 448. What I'm looking for. Okay. So it says 1 second. It says that the Chazan does it, but I'm not sure. Technically, some pieces Chazan said, and some pieces we answer. But maybe there is no problem. Maybe a person can read. We have to look into it. But I think that there is nothing prohibited here, right? Very interesting. I don't see any commentary that it is forbidden to. So I guess we can say we can say this blessing. So that this blessing just the full picture. There's a blessing that that we bless upcoming months on a Shabbos before that. So in this case, in our case, the Rosh Chodesh was on Monday, I think, right? On Monday. So we bless on Shabbos itself. So sometimes when it's Thursday, so we bless on the Shabbos before. But the purpose of this blessing is to announce to all people when Rosh Chodesh is going to be, right? And when the Molad is going to be. So Molad, where's Molad? Molad is the period of the new moon over Yerushalayim, right? And it says in hours and minutes and halakim. Halakim is a part of the minutes, right? And so the Gabbai would announce, right? Usually it's like they announce in Yiddish, so everybody understand. Ashkenazic shuls, and then allow and announce in different languages, like here in the day when announce in English, so other people understand as well. Right? Right. So when Rosh Chodesh is going to be, and it's one part of the blessing. If it's 2 days, 1 day, and when Molad is going to be. So I mean, maybe we're not obligated to know what the Molad is going to be, unless you have somewhere written down. Right, but yeah, I think we can say this. I don't think I don't see any reason why we should not say. Okay, very good question. Okay, bircas hakodesh, very interesting. Okay, so let's do quickly Halachos of Yichud, and we start today new section C. So chapter it's 3 and section C. It's a big section, so I'm not sure how long we spent on the previous one, or this one. I think a very long. Section B. Okay, so section C. The general concept of conductiveness to arise. Okay, so now like you see that the structure of the book, he gives highlights, then deeper level, deeper, and then like he always goes deeper. Even though the subject has been discussed before, we still add more details. Okay. Earlier in this chapter, see A above. Okay, so in first section, Yichud was defined as any seclusion that conductive to arise, meaning that it's a seclusion, but only if it's there is a possibility that it can bring to this forbidden relationship arise. It was further explained that the Halachos of Yichud is a whole and comprised of two fundamental elements or concepts. Okay, so what is it? Number one, the concept of Yichud seclusion, factors that define the premise and seclusion of Yichud, right? Like technical, is it Yichud, not Yichud? Can people see or not see? Can they come over, not come over? All of these things, like technicality about the place itself, the circumstances. And number two is a concept of conductiveness to arise, meaning what is the probability that something is it any probability that something is going to happen between these two individuals? Okay. Continue. It was also noted that the two concepts affect almost all halachic aspects of the Yichud. So again, place and the relationship between these people. Right? I mean, not relation, conductiveness, like what probability if it might happen or not. The first concept of Yichud seclusion, the principle of Pesach Pesuach Le'Shus Harabim, has already been discussed early in details in section B, right? So we spent, I don't know how many classes, but we did. We finished. Okay, B2, B/G earlier. Okay. The second general principle of Yichud, the concept of conductiveness of arise, must now be properly discussed. First, however, a brief review of the main points. Okay. So main point number one. Concept of Yichud seclusion, factors that define premise of Yichud. Okay. As we explained earlier in section B, the Pesach Pesuach Le'Shus Harabim is permitted because the lack of privacy, meaning there is no privacy and people would afraid that somebody would come in on them. Okay. A seclusion cannot be halachically defined as Yichud if it lacks elements of shared secure privacy. So that's we're talking about the place, meaning there is no privacy. Pesach Pesuach Le'Shus Harabim. So open door like to the public domain. Okay. And it says, according to many poskim, Pesach Pesuach Le'Shus Harabim is by definition not classed as true Yichud. There is not to fall under the premise of Yichud at all, because it lacks the elements of privacy. see section B, G earlier, right? Regarding halakhic implication of this definition. So just to remind us what we said there, so there's two school of thoughts. So one, it says that Yichud, but because it's Pesach, Pesach, Shir HaShirim, it is allowed, and we went through the different scenarios. One opinion, right? And another opinion said that since there is no conductives, there's privacy to begin with, so nothing is going to happen. There is no Yichud at all. Okay. So right, so basically it is allowed according to first opinion and second opinion, but they come to through the different avenues to that. And according to the first one, that it is just exception. Of course, it's much stricter, and we would look at every circumstance, every situation separately, and evaluate and see if it's allowed. If it is allowed. But according to second approach, that there is no Yichud to begin with, so if you have the Pesach, Pesach, Shir HaShirim, so there is nothing to talk about. Okay, so it's first point. Second point is concept of conductiveness, like what is the probability that something is going to happen over eyes. Condition that exempt Yichud. Okay. Quite often, there are factors present in Yichud situation that reduce or eliminate the conductiveness to transgression of that Yichud. Okay. With this occurs, there is a firm basis for loosening, or even exempting the restriction of Yichud. So let's read again. Quite often there is factors presented in Yichud situation that reduce or eliminate conductiveness to transgression of Yichud, right? So, for example, we said with a sick person, right, or something like that. When this occurs, or somebody have this contagious disease, right? Okay. When this occurs, then there is a firm basis for loosening, even the exempting the restriction of Yichud. Okay, so we have to evaluate the factors of conductiveness. Okay, the general principle of Yichud refers to as concept conductiveness over eyes, right? To as concept of conductiveness over eyes. So meaning we go by the bottom line if something might happen if this seclusion occurs. Okay. If the basis for the primary exemption of Yichud, right, is, I'm sorry, apologies, sorry. The general principle of Yichud is referred to a concept of conductiveness to arise is the basis of the primary exemption of Yichud. Okay, so if there is no conductiveness, this can permit instances of seclusion that do not fall within the premises of Yichud, meaning, right, yet exempt because of the various factors that neutralize or eliminate a right's conductiveness. Okay, so let's, of course, I mean, all of this theoretic thing is good, but we need some examples, and they come in on the next page. I'm not sure if should we go so far. Okay, so let's see. I stated earlier in section A1, Yichud is not forbidden unless this seclusion is conductive to arise, even when there is a full privacy. Meaning it is a full privacy, like the person is in a coma, for example, man is in a coma, right? So there is no problem. If the seclusion is not conductive to arise, the behavior is not conductive to arise behavior for any reason, it is exempt and permitted, right? So I guess let's stop here, because he's going to develop the next thing with all of the questions and all of the examples. So, I mean, I'm going to look for next time. BeEzrat HaShem. 1, 3. So let me quickly see if there are any questions. Okay, so next question. Rabbi, how can someone feel normal after seeing demented things in his youth? If sometimes Yetzer Hara calls terrible thoughts like originated from these things he saw. Right. I mean, it's very common thing, like people cannot get rid of their past, like, and this past like haunting them. So that's actually our goal. So a person has to set up a goal to get rid of it, right? So let's see. So again, the question: how can someone feel normal after seeing demented things in youth? So like whatever a person saw in the youth or went through in the youth, right? Or even not in youth, like in adult years, but it was absolutely wrong. Whatever happened. So we have to understand that past is the past, and we have to like live after it. So if you concentrate, so the best advice that I can give is busy yourself with Torah. So, and this Torah, like knowledge of the Torah, is going to push away, or at least like put like many layers of other knowledge on top of this thing, right? And you try to forget. So yeah, so I mean, it doesn't matter how terrible. I mean, it's easier to say, but it's harder to do. But it's all in a person's ability to forget these things, right? Hashem create, and we had a clip about it. Guess what? Forgetfulness, right? Forgetfulness. So we would continue forward. So, for example, if a person would lose his parent when he or she was, I don't know, 7 years old, let's say, that's for sure, right? And they would never become normal, like to see, like, I don't know, somebody's, let's say, I'm just making up story. A girl 7 years old, so like her mother was run over by a car. Can she be normal? But the things like of course they might haunt you from time to time. Some people, but other people, you pray to Hashem to forget these things, because why? Because they stop you from advancing. Understand? But you can, if you cannot forget, you just put many layers, like that they see. If you mention, yeah, thank you very much. So if you, let's forget how it was. It was that, okay. All right. So like if you imagine the memory, some containers, like in many things that are on top is going to come in our dreams, right? So many times people say, "But this dream meant this." Like always, most of the times we say, "There's a Talmud brachas say," like they discuss all the dreams. So it's, if you're interested in dreams, and Talmud brachas, right? So they say, like, it's most of the time what people a person was thinking during the day. That's it. So we have to, like, when we like take out all the garbage and not to think about other things during the day, things that are not important, and allow the Yetzer Hara to affect us. So then you're going to forget. I think we call it like holy forgetfulness, or like something like that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I think. Maybe we not publish, I don't know, but something like that. So Hashem gave us forgetfulness, so we can continue forward. Okay. Continue with this question. If sometimes Yetzer Hara will cause terrible thoughts, like likely originated from these things he saw. Yes, I mean, I know exactly what this person is talking about, and it's very hard. But again, so like these thoughts, like it's over. The situation is over, and we have to continue living, continue going forward. Must. It's not the have to. It's must. Okay, so that's and with Torah is the only element that can fix it. The only things in the world. Okay, so next question. Question about forbidden image. I wonder if we are allowed to buy products with 3D animals as a bottle cap. 3D bottle cap. For example, some perfume has animal-shaped cup. Oh, interesting. Animal-shaped cup. Okay. Does it make a difference? Does it make a difference among animals? Good question. Can we purchase it and change the cup ourselves? Discard the animal part. It's a very interesting solution. Okay. So before we start, so a question about forbidden images. So if it's 3D, right? So what is forbidden? For sure forbidden. So like celestial bodies, right? If angels, celestial bodies, all these things forbidden. Other like among the animals. Okay, right. Thank you. So about the animals, it says that only three animals are forbidden, right? Three animals, which is on Kiseh HaKovod, right? This throne of glory of Hashem, which is lion, right? King of the wild animals. What is it? The bull is a king of the domestic animal, and then the birds, the eagle is the king of all of the birds, like domestic and non-domestic, all of them. So only these three animals are forbidden, like 3D, because it's like in some sense we're trying to emulate. So and some unfortunately some Jews like they think that they're religious, but they buy the houses and they put the lines next to the entrance. I mean, I know some cultures they do that, but for Jews it is forbidden, right? It is forbidden for Jews to do that, right? If you want a giraffe or something, yeah. I mean, but they would not put like lions. Tigers maybe would be better than lions, right? So that's but okay. So go to this perfume thing. The animals. So if it's different animal, I don't know what animals is there. Right, okay. Can you buy it? Yeah, can you? Yeah, you can buy it. Yeah, can you change the cup? Yeah, absolutely. Right, absolutely. But we have to look at I would say the description of the perfume. Right. So sometimes this creator of the perfume this description, and somebody gave me some time ago, right? And I was like ready to vomit. It was very promiscuous, whatever they put there. So we have to see why exactly they put the animal, what exactly they mean by the animal. So if it's promiscuity, so we have to stay away, right? But otherwise, like throw like a snake or something, I don't know, something like throw this this cup, yeah, and put another one. I think they're standard, I think, but I don't know. Continue. I mean, how do how to know if water bottle with no Kosher is okay to drink? It's a very good question. So if it's like regular purified water, like purified water or like spring water, right? So it's usually water. Period. Do they add some things for preservation? Maybe. I'm not sure. So usually, I think in the United States they say like bottled water, there is no problem. But many people still prefer, since they could add whatever they want to this water, and right. So the people, so it's preferred to have a hatcha. But today, like many, like maybe where I live, that we don't buy water this kind, right? Like a bottled water, we don't buy. But when I saw like advertisement and we were in store, so I think like most of the water they have haksha. I think, but if somebody in different country or something, and the only water, bottled water, is available without, yeah, you can buy it. Most likely it's from the spring water. Okay. Okay. So continue. Next question. Question about the fence against immorality. Okay. We learned that we should build a fence around the fence against immorality, not about against everything, and should not look or touch our body. Okay, when unnecessary, absolutely. I wonder how we should apply the lotion or the skin medicine if needed. Oh, should one use disposable gloves? That's an amazing question, right? Again, so we have to use. Installed for us fence around the fence about immorality, right? So now, like not look at the body when taking shower, right? It's absolutely not necessary unless it's for medical reasons. So somebody have like I don't want to say what, right? Some bump or something like has shalom, and they are afraid. They want to look at the mirror. That's a different story. But otherwise, just to see that, as Rabbi Reuven Shlita says, to see if your parts are already they still there. So don't worry if it would fall off. You will feel it like for sure. So everything is there. Everything is working. Baruch Hashem, just be happy and be holy, basically. I like this, the way he explains, right? So there is no need to look. Most of the time, there is no need for us to look in the mirror, right? And if need to apply, first of all, as a person said, we can do with a glove, or second, we can do with a Q-tip or something, with some other thing. Right? I think that there's like some metal things special to apply this. Whatever you do is good, right? But proper not to touch, not to have the sensation. For sure, yes. Okay, thank you. So I think we answered all the questions. Baruch Hashem. So, all right. Anybody's typing? Okay. No, okay. Nobody's typing. So let's stop here. BeEzrat HaShem, very nice. So we had a very successful week, learned a lot, and so like many questions. And one question is not answered. Sorry about that. So, can one use a glass disposable bottle which had a kosher liquid inside for regular use without toweling? Yes, and the answer is yes. So I'm going to read again, explain. If person bought a bottle or jar, pickles, whatever, right, from kosher, with kosher ingredients, so they were allowed to eat, right? And the question is, are you allowed to use this jar, right? You are absolutely allowed to use this jar, and you don't have to put it in the mikveh. Why? Because when manufacturer made this jar or made this glass bottle, they made it as it's not it is utensil, but it's like a negligible value, right? It's something like secondary, subordinate to the pickles, to the to the drink inside. So they sell you drink, but they cannot put the drink in your hands, right? They have to give it somehow that they can give you the cup, but still you're how do you know that you come with your cup? So that's why they put it in a bottle, they put it in a jar, so it can be stored, and whenever you buy and you have it. So that's why this jar, it's absolutely nothing. So most of the people throw them out because that's serve their purpose. But if you want to keep it for your personal reason, there is no problem. You can reuse it many times, and they actually, many of them are good quality. Just you would be surprised. Many of them are very good quality, and with a lid. So yeah, so you can use it. No need to towel anything. Why? Because it's not a vessel, right? But if you buy this canning jars, a canning jar meaning that if you wanted to do your personal preserves, you wanna do your personal right, or whatever, pickles, right? You wanna pickle tomatoes, whatever you wanna do. Yes, in this case, yes, this jar that you buy from the store, now it's 100% vessel, 100% keli, and now you have to take it to the mikveh and toll it. Yeah, that's the difference. But if you use it somebody like what already manufactured to sell you pickles, yeah, that's no need. Okay, so thank you very much for watching over it. So yeah, thank you. I'm not sure how I missed it, but I missed it. Okay. All right, so thank you very much for learning with us. So we had a very successful week, Baruch Hashem, and we should do even more next week. Hopefully we start 5 minutes early, whatever early. And we'll see about Monday night. Monday night is when Tisha B'Av starts, so we're going to learn something like that is appropriate. We'll see. Even though in some class, as I understood, we covered the laws of excommunication, but I think in this class it's always beneficial to go over again. And sometimes I go over, tell the truth, the same material two or 3 weeks later. right? In one class, then I have another class. So I have no problem. I think that me personally, I only benefit if I would go 7 times over the same material, or I would benefit even more. So I mean, it's Baruch Hashem. Thank you very much. Good night, good Shabbos, and until next week, BeEzrat HaShem. Thank you.